Howdy peeps, and welcome back to the channel. Or welcome if it's your first time here. It might be, because this seems to be a rather in vogue subject at the moment. Let's get the camera around and start waffling, shall we? Let's see what purdy fishes we can find. We turn the screen back round so I can see where I'm pointing the camera. Yes, hello Bert. Hello Ernie. Hello Limias. Yeah, so zero, low, whatever maintenance tanks. Don't do water changes, don't clean your tanks, don't... Yeah, this is my take on the subject. Now, can you have a tank which is zero or low maintenance? Yes, you can. It's not really too difficult, providing you understand what's occurring. You understand your water chemistry, what the fish are doing, how the plants are growing, what heavily planted means, what over filtered means, all these good things. But now here's where I take umbrage with it, because I have no issues at all with experienced fish keepers doing these kind of things, you know. We just get a feel for our tanks and what we can do. However, some of the videos that I've seen go up are aimed at more newcomers to the hobby, new fish keepers, or new water keepers. Technically that's really what we do, isn't it? Let's be honest. First of all we keep water, then we keep bacteria, then we keep plants. The last thing we actually keep is fish, because if you do the rest, the fish look after themselves pretty much, as long as you're kind of sensible and don't massively overstock your tanks like I do. But yeah, so a newcomer to the hobby may not, probably doesn't, have the same knowledge, understanding, idea, clue as to what's going on, and they will latch on to a, ooh, I don't have to do so much work, that's great, I love that idea. And don't get me wrong, you know, rotate. I mean, water changes and filter cleanings and de-algifying, you can see how much I do with that. Well, this is the only tank really that has algae, are a part of the hobby. It's something that kind of, you know, really has to be done. Oh yes, you can put a massive filter with massive amounts of sponge and floss in it on a small tank, and yeah, it won't need cleaning out as often. Chances are though, by the time you do come to clean it out, it will be really nasty, and when you clean it out, things are going to go pear-shaped. It just tends to be what happens. You know, it is certainly possible to do too much cleaning. That's one thing you can guarantee, is you can easily over clean a tank, but every tank is different. Every tank has its own needs, its own, you know, bioload, as it were. And we'll just aim the camera away from stuff. And not every tank will have the same levels of, you know, pollution building up. Let's be honest, because that's what we're clearing out. So for me, what I would say, as we look at gorgeous female Lepiste, and yeah, large amounts of snails. Hey, it's one of my tanks, what do you expect? So what I say is, please just stop telling newcomers not to do maintenance. No. It's not going to end well. You can rattle on about deep substrates and heavily planted tanks and blah 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 as much as you like, but at the end of the day, yes, we now have a longfin super bristle nose in a shrimpy tank. At the end of the day, it's just going to cause more problems. Oh, and just for Jeff, and so Sam can have a drink. Nanakara. Here's Mr. Kara, looking a bit spent because, well, we have a, depending on whether the camera art will focus, we have another batch of Heggies and a grumpy Missy Kara. So yes, I don't know whether I've really come to a conclusion, but we'll get back to that in a moment. What I'm basically saying is, if you are a newcomer to the hobby, don't view doing water changes, cleaning filters as some horrific chore that is really nasty and bad and horrible and oh whoa. There's a fish tank, an aquarium, whatever you want to call it, is an ecosystem. It's a sealed ecosystem, or contained ecosystem, shall I say. It needs help, especially for people who are newer to the hobby. By help I mean it needs water changes, it needs filter cleans, it needs blah blah blah. And it's all part of the hobby, it's not a bad thing. Stop making it seem like doing a water change is a bad thing. You learn stuff. You get to understand your tank better. Or tanks, in my case. Just the simple acts of doing it means you've got your hands wet, you've been in and around the tank, you might spot something that needs doing or changing or pulling out, or yeah. By watching you learn, by doing you learn, and this hobby is nothing but an endless cycle of learning. So do your water changes, clean your filters. Your fish will thank you for it. It's a hobby, not a decoration or an ornament or something to just look pretty and you can look at and go, oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, look, I have a baby guppy. You know, it's not that. No, I don't have any baby guppies because I don't have guppies. I've got thousands of baby limia in here though. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, this is the very definition of overstocked. Right? Probably got in excess of 100 limia. At least two, we've got 2 adult bristle noses. Yeah, we've got 2 that size, 1 that size, there's 1 a bit smaller, a couple of dozen Cories, a pair of happy Caras. Yeah, there's a lot of fish in here, but it works. Why does it work? Because I do my water changes every week and clean my filters out every week. And I know some will say, filter cleaning once a week, isn't that rather excessive? Not when you see how much poop this lot produce. Or this lot. Or this lot. You know? So yeah, a fish tank, despite what you might see on BoobTube or FaceAche or whatever, Insta Spam, Twitter, whatever the other ones are called, I can't remember. Despite what you might see when you see this wonderful, perfectly clean, algae-free, wondrous environment, yeah, don't believe it. It only looks like that for the photo or for the video. After that, it doesn't. Things happen in tanks. Life happens. Things grow, things die. And this isn't even what I'd call a heavily planted tank. You know, this is what I'd call average planting levels. Because other than the Vallisneria, there's nothing in there fast growing. So although it does take up a bunch of nitrates, definitely don't take all of them. But there we go. So I suppose at the end of what has basically been a rant, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Yeah. Unless you really know what you're doing and you understand the chemistry, what's going on in the tank, please don't try doing the no water changes, filterless, whatever the latest fad happens to be. Go with what people have been doing for decades, if not centuries. Because we know that works in every case. Yeah. Why take a risk with your precious fish? You spent a lot of money on it. On the fish, on the plants, on everything else. Why take the risk just for siphoning out and putting back in a few buckets full of water? It really doesn't take long. Oi! Oi! Did you just snaffle the entire algae wafer, you greedy piglet? You did, didn't you? Now you're trying to chew it. You're getting bits of algae wafer go everywhere. Greedy beggar. Yeah, so I mean, if you had a rat, a hamster, a rabbit, you wouldn't leave their hutch or cage or whatever for months, would you? You'd clean it out and change the bedding every week. Do the same for your fish, that's all it is. But anyway, enough of me waffling and ranting. As I've said, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, if this made any sense at all, or it was just a nonsensical ramble for 13 minutes. But whatever you do, enjoy your hobby, stay safe, peace out, rock on, bye bye.